Welcome to Part 3 of the If Logical Series. Part 3 focuses on if/or, which is a multiple criteria logical function. Unlike an if-and function, where all logical tests must be true to return a true outcome, an if/or function must only have a single logical test be true for a true outcome to exist. All right. Let's walk through the definition of each part of an if/or function. So let's go to our definition tab. All right, first of all, up here is the function, or rather the function's parts. So at the top here is the function's different parts. If tells you a logical statement's getting ready to happen, or tells you how the logical test is supposed to be conducted to determine a true or false outcome. Over here is the true outcome. This tells Excel what needs to be done if a true outcome actually exists. And over here is the false outcome, which tells Excel what to do if a false outcome exists. All right, so let's define logical test. A logical test in an or statement requires a minimum of 2 logical criteria to test. So up here we have logical test 1, logical test 2, and then I have etc. One logical test must be true in order for the logical test to pass and provide a true outcome. So out of these up here, only one of them have to be true in order for a true outcome to occur. Unlike in an if-and statement, everything that's up here as a logical test must be true for a true outcome to return. However, if both logical tests are false, then a false outcome will be returned. So in an if/or statement, if logical test 1, logical test 2, logical test 3, if everything that's within this parenthesis and this parenthesis comes back as false, that is the only way a false outcome will occur. So, true outcome. If the outcome of the criteria provided is true, then this is a specific action you want Excel to take. The true outcome can be either a word or formula outcome. So you can have the word true, you can have some kind of formula, whether it's a VLOOKUP or SUMIF or whatever. You can have a formula there. And for a false outcome, if the outcome of the criteria is provided is false, then this is a specific action you want Excel to take. Just like with the true outcome, the false outcome can be either a word or a formula as well. All right, so that is an if/or statement defined. Let's go to the steps to complete when filling out the function. All right, if/or function steps to complete. Step 1, type the following. Equals if, again the if tells you you're getting ready to do a logical statement, parentheses, or, this tells Excel how to handle and determine whether it is a true or false outcome. So we have the word or, and then we have parentheses. This first parentheses here, or this parentheses here, starts the logical test. So in step 2, we type the first logical test statement. So that's where we have our first logical test. And we have to put a comma after it. So it lets Excel know that that's the entire logical test. Then we go to step 3, type the second logical test statement. So we have logical test 2. And we close it out with a parenthesis. So now we have logical test 1, comma, logical test 2, parenthesis. So now Excel knows everything within this parenthesis and this parenthesis is what needs to be tested for a true or false outcome to occur. And after we put this parenthesis, we must put a comma because this activates the next step in our if/or function. So step 4, tell Excel the action to take if logical test is a true statement. All right, so we put that comma there, so it activates, and what comes next is the true outcome. This is where you're going to tell Excel exactly what action to take if the logical tests turn out to be true. And after you've done put in what you want the true outcome to be, you must do a comma. Again, this comma does two things. One, it tells Excel that's everything you want the true statement to do, and then it also activates Excel to say that the next part of the if/or function is about to begin. So this next part of the if/or function is the false outcome. So step 5, tell Excel the action to take if the logical test is a false statement. So there we go. We have the false statement. Just like the true, can be a word or it can be a formula. And after we've done this, we need to put a parenthesis. This tells Excel that everything that you want done within this if/or function is complete. If you don't have that there, Excel will come back with an error message saying, hey, do you want to add a parenthesis here or not? But once you've completed this whole function and told Excel exactly how you want the logical tests to be determined, then you should be able to press enter and you will get your result. All right. Well, now that we know the correct steps to complete an if/or function, why don't we go forward and try out our two examples? All right. So we have two questions here, and these are the examples we're going to be working. So question 1, 25% of households own either a dog, cat, or bird. Question 2, there are either 60 million cats or birds in the United States. All right. So let's start with question 1. Question 1, 25% of households own either a dog, cat, or bird. The reason why we're doing question 1 first, just like within the if/and series, I told you that a logical function can have 2 or more logical tests. Well, question 1, because we're saying dog, cat, or bird, has 3 logical tests. So we have to create our function using 3 logical parameters. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put equals the word if, our first parentheses. Then we're going to type in the word or, parentheses. So now we're telling Excel our logical test is getting ready to begin. And now we need to have 25% or more of households as our criteria. So we're going to go up here to cell B4, clicking it, and we're going to put greater than or equal to 25%, comma. Then we're going to go to cell B5, do the same thing, greater than or equal to 25%, comma, and then we're going to have cell B6, click inside of it, greater than or equal to 25%. So that takes care of dogs, cats, and birds. So now that we have our 3 logical criteria done, we're going to put our second parenthesis. And like I said, you must have a comma after it. So now we have to tell Excel what to do if this is a true outcome. So in this case, we're not going to do a formula. We're just going to do a true and false. So true outcome equals true, false outcome equals false. So we're going to do quotes, the word true, close quotes, comma, then we're going to do another quote, and we'll write the word false, comma, and close parentheses. So this is our if/or function. So when we press enter, we're either going to get a true or false outcome within our cell. So let's press enter and see what happens. It is true. Why is it true? Because our question said 25% of households own either a dog, cat, or bird. So in order for this to be a true statement, only one of these have to be at least 25% of households. So if dogs are in 25% or cats are in 25%, then it makes it a true statement. And if birds happen to be in less than 25%, then it's still a true statement. The only way this would be false is if dogs, cats, and birds are all in less than 25% of households. But as we go over here to our data, we see that dogs are in 38% of the households, cats are in 25% of the households, and only birds are in less than 25% of the households. So because we have one true statement, it makes the whole function true. In this case, we had 2 true statements. All right, let's do question 2. Question 2, there are either 60 million cats or birds in the United States. So we want to find out, are there 60 million cats or birds in the United States? So cats must be either 60 million or birds must be either 60 million. All right, so let's write our function. Equals if parentheses or parentheses, start our logical test, and we want cats is greater than or equal to 60 million. Make sure we have enough zeros there. 60. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. And then we're going to go over here to birds. Greater than or equal to 60 million. Again, we'll make sure we have enough zeros there. 60. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We do. So we're going to close that out. Now our 2 logical tests are being tested. We'll put a comma, quotes. Again, we're going to do the words true and words false for true or false outcome. So true, quotes, comma, quotes, false, quotes, parentheses. So once we press enter, we're either going to get a true or false outcome. So let's press enter. Comes back as false. Why is it false? Because our original question asked if we would have, if there are 60 million cats or birds in the United States. So if we look at our data, cats are only 58 million in the United States, and birds are only 7.5 million in the United States. The only animal or pet that's in more than 60 million households is dogs, or exist in the United States, are dogs. All right, so that is both of our examples. Like I said, pretty easy to do. It's just a different version of an if statement. So through our series so far, we've had a standard if. Then we went to part 2. We've had if and now we've gone through part 3 and we have if or. So if you have enjoyed this video tutorial, please like and subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share with your friends. All right, have a nice day.